Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1935B, and today's date is August 5th, 2019, and the title of the episode is Forever Message Sent and Received. We have more than we know. Now, before we get started, we've been talking about protecting your devices, protecting yourself from big tech. I mean, it's the year 2019, and if you're not using a VPN by now on your desktop, tablet, or mobile device while you browse the internet, then you're really exposing yourself to a lot of potential danger. Here, let me show you how easy this is. Click Connect. Once I'm connected, my IP address is now different than before. See? This month, Virtual Shield is offering a 4th of July celebration special. Sign up for free for 30-day trial to Virtual Shield VPN and see what the hype is all about. You have nothing to lose. Click the link below. Let's get into the economic collapse, political and geopolitical news. Now, Q has told us that this month is going to be a very hot month. And we're just in the beginning stages of August, and I do believe it's going to get hotter and hotter as we move forward. And this is why I do believe Q has been telling us to get prepared for all of this. Remember, as we move forward and the truth comes out, the deep state, they're not just going to sit back and take it. They're going to fight as hard as they possibly can to stop everything from happening. And this includes clogging the news cycles with events, by pushing their agendas, by blaming it on Trump. And I don't believe we've seen the end of this. I believe that this is going to continue as information drops from the Patriots. As the investigations come to a close, they bring information out. I do believe it's going to get hotter and hotter. And the whole purpose of the deep state pushing all this is to confuse the people, to keep people off track, and to make them look over here instead of over there. And that's what they're going to try to do. Don't expect this just to be an easy 1, 2, 3 thing and it's over with. Because the deep state, they will not sit idly by allowing the Patriots to put this out to the public without them fighting back. They're going to fight until the very, very end. But as we know from Q, as we know from the Patriots, this has been planned for. They know exactly what is going to happen. They planned for this, and they have contingency plans to make sure they're not caught off guard. And we'll be talking about all of this a little bit later on. But first, I wanted to start off with former AOC Chief of Staff who resigned. And what we've learned here is that there are many investigations into AOC. Now, going back to April, the Coolidge-Reagan Foundation, a First Amendment watchdog, filed another complaint against Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, this time targeting her campaign manager. Now, this complaint, it spans nearly 50 pages, and there's about 20 counts against AOC's chief of staff. And they're also looking at the entities they created to carry out an unlawful dark money scheme. And the complaint provides the most in-depth analysis of AOC's various campaign finance violations to date. Now, according to a complaint filed with the Federal Election Committee in March, 2 PACs founded by AOC's top aide funneled over $1 million in political donations in 2 of his own private companies. Now, on Friday, as we know, he suddenly resigned. And now we learn that federal agencies are investigating alleged campaign finance misconduct by AOC's former chief of staff. So it looks like things are not going well for AOC. Now, Representative Omar, her current husband, Ahmed Hirsi, not her brother husband, is on the registry of multiple properties in Minnesota, including her campaign headquarters, a tobacco shop, and a tax service company named Lucky Tax Services, to name a few. Representative Omar is accused of potential immigration, marriage, tax, and student loan fraud. When looking into more ties between Omar and her current husband, the properties that he owns appear to be suspicious, knowing that Omar is being accused of tax fraud. The fact that her husband, Ahmed Hirsi, is on the registry of these companies, including Lucky Tax Services, is puzzling. Were Omar's taxes prepared by a property with connection to her current husband, and were they legit? Well, it seems kind of odd and very suspicious. Now, again, there is investigations going on. They'll be looking into this, and we'll wait to see when more information is released. Now, we know that the Department of Justice, they decided not to press charges against James Comey. Now, James Comey is no way out of the woods just yet. Just because the Justice Department declined to prosecute him for handling these memos doesn't mean that he's off scot-free. Joe D. said that Comey is not out of the woods. He is the target, along with a number of other people, of a major criminal conspiracy investigation by John Durham. Doesn't mean he's going to be charged, but he's right in the middle of the grand conspiracy that John Durham is investigating. I applaud what Bill Barr in dismissing, in not bringing this case. Durham, at the behest of Attorney General William Barr, is conducting review of the Russia investigation's origins and could take prosecutorial action depending on the findings and recommendations from the independent watchdog. Accountability is what matters now after the disgrace that we've had, where it is very obvious the Department of Justice and FBI under Obama, Sally Yates, James Comey, McCabe, all of these people tried to basically frame Trump to defrock him, to remove him from office, to prevent him from taking office, Joe D. said. What we need now is accountability through disclosure, accountability, transparency, public reports, the Horowitz report. And if there are serious crimes, let's say a group of people got together and said, even though we know Carter Page is innocent, we're going to lie to the FISA court so we can listen in and see if we can get stuff on Trump's people. If that happened, I'm for prosecuting that. So when we take a deeper look into all of this, what do we see? Well, that the memo leaking investigation may have been abandoned because it's insignificant compared to the real reason James Comey needs to be held accountable. A deeper look provides a clue that the memo leaking investigation may have been abandoned, however, because it's insignificant compared to the real reason Comey needs to be held accountable. There are significant issues emerging with how the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court supervised surveillance was handled and other conduct in the investigation, and everyone involved remains under scrutiny. Before the Russian collusion hoax, Comey signed his name on sweeping surveillance violations. If we went ahead and we pursued Comey on the memo leaking offense, it would be like charging Comey for jaywalking after he crossed the street to fire a close-range kill shot at our Constitution. This is why the memos weren't that important. They want to get him on things that he actually signed, and there is paperwork and there's a trail. And again, the cover-up is what's going to get them. Now, Judicial Watch, they filed a federal lawsuit on behalf of our 4 California voters to prevent the state from implementing a new law requiring all presidential candidates to publicly disclose their tax returns in order to appear on the primary ballot. The lawsuit argues that the law is politically motivated and unconstitutional. And this is the lawsuit that the California Governor Gavin Newsom signed, where they're trying to get Trump's tax returns. Now, we know that this law is aimed at Trump to keep him off the 2020 primary ballot, since he refuses to publicly release his tax returns. Democratic candidates such as Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and others, they haven't released their tax returns yet, and with this law, they're going to be required to hand them all over. Now, Tom Fitton said the following: California politicians, in their zeal to attack Trump, passed a law that not also unconstitutionally victimizes California voters. It is obvious legal issue that a state can't amend the U.S. Constitution by adding qualifications in order to run for president. And Tom Fitton went on to say, the courts can't stop this abusive law fast enough. And like I said, I do believe that Trump and the Patriots, they knew that this was going to happen. Think about it. You're running for president and you say, you know something? I'm not going to hand in my tax returns. what do you think the other side was going to do? They were going to make a really big deal about this. They knew that all of these states that were trying to get Trump, they were going to change the laws. I do believe this was a strategy to push these states, to push these people into saying that we need to audit any presidential or any congressperson's tax returns. Remember what Q said in Post 3383. Imagine what would happen if by law every U.S. congressman, woman, U.S. senator, president, etc. was by U.S. law audited every 1 to 2 years by an independent agency. Imagine what would happen if those audits extended to all family members of such elected officials. So think about what Trump and the Patriots are doing right now. They're pushing these individuals into pushing some type of audit law, saying this is what we want. And I do believe that this is being done on purpose. And when all is said and done, Trump will hand over his tax returns and there will be absolutely nothing there. This whole thing is a trap for the deep state players. Now let's talk about the events and let's talk about the plan that the Patriots came up with. Now, Trump's message is a message of unity, bringing the country together. Forget about Republicans, Democrats, forget about all of this stuff. Let's work together as a country. Now, every time we have an event like this, Trump comes out and he says the country needs to come together at these particular times. And we should be working together after these times. He called for bipartisan solutions as he sets out 4 avenues of actions: identifying potential mass shooters before they strike, curtailing violent video games that celebrate violence, reforming mental health laws, and strictly limiting firearms to troubled people under red flag laws. The person in El Paso, he posted a manifesto online consumed with racist hate, Trump said. He also said in one voice, our nation must condemn bigotry, hatred, white supremacy. These sinister ideologies must be defeated. And he said, we vow to act with urgent resolve. We can and will stop this evil contagion. Now, Trump, he gave this entire speech, but there's little sections of the speech that I want you to listen to. Take a listen to this part that has to do with racism, bigotry, and supremacy.
I have also been in close contact with Attorney General Barr and FBI Director Wray. Federal authorities are on the ground, and I have directed them to provide any and all assistance required, whatever is needed. The shooter in El Paso posted a manifesto online consumed by racist hate. In one voice, our nation must condemn racism, bigotry, and white supremacy. These sinister ideologies must be defeated. Hate has no place in America. Hatred warps the mind, ravages the heart, and devours the soul. We have asked the FBI to identify all further resources they need to investigate and disrupt hate crimes and domestic terrorism, whatever they need.
Now, did you hear the part where he said the FBI is going to investigate and disrupt hate crimes and domestic terrorism? Think about what he's saying here. Who's in Texas? John Bash. Trump nominated him. John Bash is going to head up the investigation. Bill Barr is involved. Now, as we know, when these things happen, we know that there are certain agendas. We know that there are bills waiting in the wings. They're just waiting there, and they're waiting for a crisis to push these bills. We have the top Democrats. They're calling for Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to cancel the Senate's August recess in light of the 2 mass shootings that occurred this weekend. So already They don't want anyone to leave during the month of August. Very interesting. Elizabeth Warren tweeted out the following. Make no mistake, tomorrow the NRA will go back to doing the dirty work of gun manufacturers and blocking progress at every turn. Must call us back into session to vote on the 2 background check bills that have already passed the House. Now remember, these bills, they passed the House before. This is H.R. 8 and H.R. 1112, and they're the ones who are going to close the gaps of background checks, and they're going to require a stricter background check for every firearm sale. But again, this wouldn't have stopped any of the shooters because they had no record whatsoever, and the background checks would have come up completely clean. Senator Bernie Sanders tweeted out the following. Mitch McConnell should bring the Senate back into session immediately to pass H.R. 8, the gun safety bill that has already passed the House. That's the first step. Chuck Schumer is also out there, and he tweeted out El Paso, Dayton, one awful event after another. McConnell must call the Senate back for an emergency session to put the House-passed universal background checks legislation on the Senate floor for debate and vote immediately. So right now you can see their agenda. Their agenda is to get these gun bills passed, to remove the weapons from the people. This is what it's always been. This is part of the agenda. Remember, when we have certain things happen, certain individuals push certain agendas. So we know they want gun control. We know that they're pushing the agenda against Trump, that he's responsible. We know that they want to keep everyone in session for the month of August. Month of August is a very hot month. And we need to remember something very important. Weapons, cars, bombs, they don't do things on their own. There's always a person behind the wheel, the person behind who's creating a bomb, a person who's behind the weapon. We need to look at each and every one of these individuals. What drove them to do this? Why is this happening? Who's responsible for this? Are they mentally ill? Is someone controlling them while they're on medication? These are the things we need to look at. And Trump is out there and he's saying just that. He's saying that we need to look at this very, very closely. Now, Trump also tweeted out that the fake news has contributed to growing anger and rage in the country in the wake of the shootings. The media, he said, has a big responsibility to life and safety in our country. Fake news has contributed greatly to the anger and rage that has built up over many years. News coverage has got to start being fair, balanced, and unbiased, or these terrible problems will only get worse. Now, we know one agenda is gun control. They've been trying to do this for a very long time. The other one is censoring. Now, we knew way back that they were going to come after social media. They were going to come after 8chan. They tried once before. They tried to have Cloudflare remove its service from 8chan, and they said no, way back. This time around, Cloudflare decided, you know something? We're not going to be involved in this anymore, and we're no longer going to provide the service to 8chan. So 8chan right now went down. 8chan removed its IPs from Cloudflare. They set up a whole new system. Then they ran into other problems with those companies that provide their domain names. Kevin Roos tweeted out the following. Without DDoS protection, 8chan went down overnight. Now its admin says it is switching to another service. BitMitigate, the anti-DDoS used by the Daily Stormer. BitMitigate is owned by Epic, the web host that took in Gab after the Tree of Life shooting. New, 2Cows, 8chan's domain name registrar, which said last night that it had no immediate plans to boot the site, tells me it is no longer providing services to 8chan. So right now, 8chan is trying to be brought back up. Right now it is down. I do believe that Q, Patriots, they planned for this a while back. Let's go to post 3127. Q says, ask yourself a very simple question. Would the fake news media and other controlled assets expend this amount of time and resources attacking attempt to discredit, cast as a conspiracy, LARP, this movement, if it did not pose a significant threat, danger. You attack those who threaten you the most. Logical thinking. And Julian's Rum pointed out something very, very interesting. The NSA just tweeted this. Notice the Ghidra logo, the mention of Black Hat, and the number 8. Q told us that the Ghidra logo was designed to look like the 8chan logo on purpose. What I see here, stay strong 8chan mods and Anons. The Black Hats will fail. We are with you. I do believe they plan for all this. And again, August is going to be a hot month. There's going to be many, many changes coming. And we knew that this was planned from the very beginning. Q has been telling us that why do you spend all this time attacking a LARP? It wouldn't make any sense. And Q did let us know that there'd be a day when they brought down the systems. And they've already had contingency plans set up. And we're going to see those plans emerge right now. Let's talk about what Trump is doing right now. He tweeted out the following: "We must honor the sacred memory of those we have lost by acting as one people." Now, one people is all capitalized. "Open wounds cannot heal if we are divided. We must seek real bipartisan solutions that will truly make America safe and better for all." So what is Trump saying? Trump is continually pushing the message of unity. Where we go one, we go all. As a country, we need to come together to make America safer and better. We cannot be divided. And this is what the deep state likes. The deep state likes us divided. Now, Trump said something very, very interesting. He tweeted out, "Today, I am also directing the Department of Justice to propose legislation ensuring that those who commit hate crimes and mass murders face the death penalty, and that this capital punishment be delivered quickly, decisively, and without years of needless delay." Take a listen to what he said.
I'm also directing the Department of Justice to propose legislation ensuring that those who commit hate crimes and mass murders face the death penalty, and that this capital punishment be delivered quickly, decisively, and without years of needless delay.
Now, as you can see, he's talking about the death penalty. What did Bill Barr just do? He brought back the death penalty. And he's looking at anyone who commits hate crimes or mass murders, that they face the death penalty, or anyone that is involved in this. Now, Julian's Rum noticed something very interesting in one of Trump's tweets. And I do believe that this is a message letting all the Anons and everyone know that everything is okay. Julian's Rum tweeted out the following: "Forever" in Trump's latest tweet was in all caps. Here are the Q drops with the word forever. Notice anything? So here's the tweet. "The First Lady and I join all Americans in praying and grieving for the victims, their families, and the survivors. We will stand by their side forever." So if we take that word forever, it's all caps, and we look at the post, we have post 3016. And it says, "The real reason they want open borders, follow the maps, illegal immigrants first, America last. They are afraid of losing power forever. They should be. Welcome to the D Party." Post 538. "Beware of major false flag attempts this week. Know your surroundings. Change of news cycle will be needed. Ability to attack limited. ISIS on life support. Tactics shift to threats and hostages to obtain rogue ops." And it says, "Silence will not last forever. Trust. Q." Post 490. "God forever bless our brave men and women who would give their life to defend the great country. God bless each and every patriot in the world. Let freedom ring." So when you put all this together, what do you see? Well, it says they are afraid of losing power forever. Silence will not last forever. God forever bless our brave men and women who would give their life to defend this great country. Let freedom ring. And I do believe that is a message to all patriots. So when you look at all of this, Barr reinstates the death penalty. Trump wants those who commit hate crimes and mass murders, he wants them to face the death penalty. And we know that there are many others that are out there that have introduced a bill to eradicate the death penalty law. We also know that Booker and Kamala Harris also pushed a bill using the hoax crime of Smollett to make lynching unlawful. So think about what they're doing here, and think about what Trump is doing. He is going after those individuals that are responsible for this. There's an investigation going on in Texas. Bill Barr is giving his full support to John Bash. Trump is saying that whatever they need, we're going to find out who is behind this. And those people who were involved or committed this type of crime, well, they're going to pay. And you can see that Trump wants us to be swift. He doesn't want this delayed. And once these people are caught, brought to trial, he wants them to face the death penalty. So Trump's entire message is, let's take a look at this. I denounce white nationalism. I denounce the racists. I denounce bigotry. I denounced all of this stuff. I believe the country needs to come together and be as one. And for those individuals, I wonder who he's talking to, who were behind all of this, those individuals that committed this crime, we're coming after you. We're investigating. We're going to find out. And we're going to let the people know. And the truth will be released to the public. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.